Hi, my name is Valentina Garcia Gonzalez. I am a current sophomore at Dartmouth College. I'm also an undocumented student. I am an immigrant from Uruguay. Um, in regards to how Trump's election will influence my work-life situation, so I'm a recipient of DACA, which is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and that grants me a work permit and work authorization, so I can work legally in the United States for upwards of 2 years at a time before I have to constantly renew that every 2 years. So it's a temporary work permit, so I can work temporarily. But the thing is that with Trump coming into the presidency, I do not know if he will take that away, and that means that I will not be able to work. I will not be able to have an income. It'll be much harder for me to navigate my college life, my home life, without DACA, without being able to work and earn money for myself and for my family. Um, the kind of impact that will happen with Trump's presidency in marginalized communities is pretty much constant fear. And this is something that I've lived with thus far, being an undocumented person in the United States. And when this anti-immigrant rhetoric came into play uh, very heavily when Obama first was president, I noticed this rhetoric just completely increase over the years. And with Trump's campaign, it made it normal for xenophobia, for racism, for anti-immigrant sentiments to just come through. So now I feel like with Trump's presidency, it's going to be a fight against the fear that we have as people of color, as communities of color, as minority communities. And I think we as minorities should band together in one way or another with each other and fight for our rights, human rights, civil rights, to live in a country that we have lived in for so many years, and fight for our humanity, as stupid as it sounds. What I've noticed as an undocumented person and as a person of color is that I'm constantly having to prove my worthiness and my humanity with non-people of color, and that has happened much more often throughout the Trump presidency and the Trump campaign. And now I feel like with the Trump presidency, I feel like it's gonna be a norm having to fight for my humanity and for my worthiness of being here in this country and being where I am. Congress-wise, I feel somewhat protected by Congress because, like it or not, it's a checks and balances system that we learned in grade school about how the president can't just immediately put something into play. It has to pass by certain powers that be, and I feel that that kind of trickle down power kind of helps marginalized communities to a certain extent, but at the same time, I feel that with today's political atmosphere, it could really go both ways. So for me, it is the utmost importance for marginalized communities to band together, pass legislation that will benefit us as marginalized communities, and not back down when bills and legislation is passed that are against us, against people from low income, against people from different backgrounds, of different nationalities, of different legal statuses, different religions, different gender, sexuality. We must band together to protect one another against what is coming. Yeah.